In the previous video, we seen how we can launch Wireshark, and we said that we can actually just open a file that contains packets that we already captured, and we can start analyzing them using Wireshark. In this video, I want to start sniffing packets and then generate some traffic in my Windows machine, and then we'll see how we can analyze these packets using Wireshark. So I'm already the man in the middle. As I said, you first have to be the man in the middle to use Wireshark. And then the traffic that's generated in the Windows machine is actually flowing through ETH0, as we've seen in the previous video. So before I start capturing the packets, I want to go to the options, and I just want to show you what options we can set. So first, you can see all the interfaces that you have, and you can see the traffic generated on them. And you can see ETH0 is actually generating some traffic every now and then because it's actually coming from the Windows machine, which is already in here. And now anything that we do in here, for example, if we search for anything, you'll see there's a spike coming up here because the traffic is flowing through this. So in here, you can select the interfaces that you want to start capturing on. And you can actually select more than one interface. And all you have to do is just hold the control and then click other interfaces that you want to listen on. For example, we can just click them like this. But for now, I actually only want to sniff on ETH0. Now, if we go on the output, you'll see that you have an option to store these packets somewhere. So again, if you only want to sniff and you don't want to analyze things, then you can just go on the browse and you can store the packets that you're gonna sniff somewhere, and then you can analyze them whenever you have the time at a different time. You can just open them with Wireshark like I showed you in the previous video. You can just go on File, Open, and then open the packets and start analyzing them. Now, I have ETH0 selected, and I'm just going to click on Start. And that will start capturing packets. Anything that's going to flow through ETH0 will be captured, and it will be displayed in here. Anything. I mean, images, pictures, messages, cookies, anything that computer does on the internet will flow through ETH0, and therefore will be captured by Wireshark. So it's not like Man in the Middle Life, where it was only showing us the important information. Right here, you'll see anything, all the traffic that's generated. So let's first of all generate some traffic here. So we've already generated this, but this wasn't captured. So let's look for something. So for example, let's look for a car. We're just going to look for a car called GTR. Maybe we go on images. You can see some nice pictures. Maybe open one of them. Now let's go back to Bing. And let's go to Dailymotion. Okay, now let's try to analyze the packets or the traffic that we generated. So I'm just going to stop this. Now this is the main interface of Wireshark. And you can see that the first thing we have is each one record of this is a packet. Now you'll see here the columns. First of all, here is the number of the packet. So you have this one is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. In the time, you'll see the time when this packet was captured. So 0 is when we first started sniffing, and then the time increases as we go down, and it shows when these packets were captured, when they were sent basically. You can also see the source. So this is the device that the packet was sent from. And you can see that this one is not sent from our target. It's actually coming from the internet, from a server that has this IP, and it's going to our target computer, which is 10.20.14.206. You can see the protocol. So it's TCP for this one. You can see that it's ICMP in this one, and you can see that it's ARP for this. You can see the length, which is the size, and you can also see info about this packet. Now you can also notice that these packets have different colors. Usually green is TCP packets, dark blue is DNS packets, and if we go down, we should actually be able to find some of them. And you can see all of these are DNS packets. Light blue usually is UDP, but we don't have any UDP packets at the moment. And you can also see that we have some black packets, and these are TCP packets that had a problem, that had issues. Now, if you double click any of these packets, it will display more information for you here. It's the same information that's being displayed in here in the bottom. So if we just bring that down a little bit, you can see right here you have the frame, you have the Ethernet, the Internet Protocol, and the Transmission Control Protocol. And using that, you can just click on the arrow and then you'll see more information that's stored in here. Now again, if you just double click the packet, you'll get the exact same information and you'll be able to get information about the packet that you just selected. Now what we did on the target computer so far, most of the traffic that we generated was HTTP traffic. So to get rid of all this information that's hard for us to read, we're just gonna type in here in the filters, we're just gonna type in HTTP. Hit enter. And as you can see now, that filtered all the packets to HTTP traffic only. So for example, right here, you can see that we have a post request send from our target computer to a server. We still don't know what that server is, but it's to a server on the internet. And when we double click that, we'll get more information about this packet. I'm gonna make this smaller here. So on the frame, you can see that the interface that's used. You can see information about the packet itself. In the Ethernet 2, you'll see information about the destination and the source, so you can see that the MAC address is used. In the Internet Protocol, you'll see information such as the geolocation of the target, so we can see that this packet is sent to the United States. In the transmission, you can see information about the ports used. What really interests us is the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and this is where you really see the interesting information in our case. So in here, you can see that the request was sent to Bing.com, and you can see that this request was searching for www, and you can see that the content type was a text. So you can get this information about each packet that's sent. So you can see that Wireshark logs everything that happens. It doesn't only log, or it doesn't only show the interesting stuff. It literally logs everything. So it contains the interesting stuff plus much more. Now, if we go down, we can see that we have another post request. And if we double click that, it's probably going to be my second search, which is when I search for the GTR. And you can see here, I searched for a car and it's called GTR. So again, right here, we can see all the searches that we did. We can see all the URLs that the user entered so far. And if we go down, you'll be able to see all the other URLs that we visited. So you'll be able to see Google and Dailymotion as well.